What's up, juice heads? I am back with episode 8 of What's Trending. It's been a while. November was a tough month. November 3rd, we had that fucking election or whatever you want to call it. Then the next day at work, fucking heads rolled where I work. Enough said. And it only goes downhill from there, right? I had a little bit of a knee injury, missed a couple weeks working out. So my motto for December, may every day be a positive day. So here we are, back on What's Trending. We got some topics for you today. And I actually did want to start, we didn't do a football show last week. And I don't know if my co-host on the football show watches What's Trending. I don't know if it's people that watch the football show watch What's Trending. But I had a statement. I don't even know if the football show is ever going to happen again. But we got a little political the last time we did one a couple weeks ago. So I prepared a statement that I just want to get off my chest. And look, if my friend's watching, if his friends are watching, it's my show. The premise of the football show is Mike Francesa meets Joe Rogan. Anything goes. Yes, it's a football show, but we talk about stadiums, uniforms, history. We drift off into what celebrities are banging what other celebrities. Like, we talk about fucking anything. We talk about what colors we like. So, look, the NFL's been shoving their politics down my throat and down all their fans' throats for the last 5 years. So you're either on their side or they're not. Hence the name NFL Boycott Club. All right? So look, moving forward, if the viewers don't want to hear as much about politics on that show, if we continue the show, well then I'd be stupid to ignore the people that actually watch the fucking thing, because that's why we do it. But, again, it is my show. I can talk about whatever the hell I want. And the NFL just doesn't stop with the fucking politics. And I don't think they ever will. And as a matter of fact, last week on Monday night, you can't play on the field. You can't be one of the 11 starters unless you're the best person for the job. Well, they had to shove it down our throat that they had 7 black officials for the first time in NFL history. Now, did they say it was the 7 best officials for the game? No. They said it was on purpose because we need this right now. I don't give a shit if it's the referee, the line judge, the field judge, the back judge, the whatever else the fuck judge. I don't care if it's male, female, green, orange, blue, fucking Martian, human, whatever the fuck it might be. I just want the 7 people, officials on the field that are going to fuck up the game the least. Is it great they're all black? Sure. But what if it was an all-white crew? And someone celebrated that? Then what? So, with that out of the fucking way, because that wasn't contentious, let's get to what's trending. And so that was the intro for the intro. We're going to keep it lighthearted. Look, November was a fucking depressing month for a lot of people, okay? So, we're back to some lightheartedness, some fucking smiles. I know I didn't really smile on the last episode. One of my heroes, Kevin Castle, watched it. I hope he doesn't think I'm a miserable fucking Italian guinea from Jesus Christ almighty. I don't want one of the first podcasters I listened to check out my show, and I seem like a fucking negative Nancy over here. But of course, the show's called What's Trending. And, Twitter is kind of rigged these days. It's always been rigged, but it's been rigged more so than ever. So the last show I said, what's trending on this week is going to be trending from my noggin, which was the case. And it was fine. I went off the cuff on a lot of different things, mostly involving the election. But, all these shows, I just started podcasting 3 months ago. So this whole outfit's in its infancy. If you ask me, rubbing the rhubarb, we're hitting a great stride with that. And the first night was a fucking disaster, the practice night. You can ask the people that were there about that one. But it was fun. I mean, that's the thing. It's been fun this whole time. But now these shows are starting to kind of, after a few months, get their own identity, which is great. And they're all fun to do, and I really enjoy them. And again, back to the NFL show incident or whatever. It's just what was on my mind at the time. Sometimes you make good creative decisions, sometimes you make bad creative decisions. But like I said, I mean, if the NFL is going to shove their fucking politics down my fucking throat, I guess it's a matter of if your politics, if you don't have the right politics, you're not allowed to talk about them. So that's bullshit. And I will say whatever I want on that show. But, I mean, I agree. If it is going to be an NFL show, a little less politics, no problem. No fucking problem there. Especially if people are actually going to spend their time watching it. But November also, aside from the shitty things that happen, right? You have Thanksgiving. You have more or less a week off in a row in certain instances the last week. And it's always been a good time to recharge the batteries, right? So this is my third day in the row back to working out because my knee's really been acting shitty. I really should get it checked out, but it's nothing too serious. I could at least jog and lift weights, so I'm going to do that, and I'll get my knee checked out. I'll keep you guys posted on that. And yeah, so for now on, this show's kind of going to be a hybrid of what's actually trending and what's trending up here, because I can't even burp on air right. But it's just, I meant to put that up. I'm a little rusty, so one of my first topics was actually going to be New Year's resolutions, right? I don't believe in them, but transitioning into like a better, healthier October, both physically and mentally, you really do have to take care of yourself. And November, I think, sucked for a lot of people, but life goes on, right? And, I had a couple of thoughts. My 2019, and I talked about this on the private fucking podcast, which I guess because of the name alone, it's audio only, and it's really not vulgar at all, but because I named it the private fucking podcast on YouTube, the fucking age restricted it. But I guess you got to be 18 in order to hear the word fuck these days. But there's songs called WAP out there. Right. Spelled WAP. I mean, whatever that must mean. But, just make sure you're doing the things you want to do. Just make sure you're doing all right. And I guess the mirror test always works, right? Just make sure you're doing the right fucking things every day. And, and again, the shitty parts about November, they might be getting resolved in December anyway, at least the political ones. And again, there's a difference between religion and patriotism, right? I mean, the left wouldn't fucking know that, because to them, being a liberal or being a Democrat is a religion. If my side lost, they lost. But it does break my heart to see anyone lose by the blatant amount of cheating that went on. And the cases that have been coming out are so fucking unbelievable. It actually is funny how flagrant the fucking cheating was. So, I mean, that's the difference, right? I mean, if your guy loses, they lose. We all move on. And that was kind of what I was trying to say last week in a long-winded way. But speaking of fucking jerk-offs, I think there's only one guy in there that actually balanced the budget. BJ Billy. The three amigos were trending today. I'll let you guess where. They all promised that they were going to take this COVID vaccine as soon as it comes out. Why? To gain the trust of the people. Who better to trust than three fucking old, washed up, lying, slimy politicians. You got these guys all want you to trust them, right? Let's see. Who said if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor? If you like your plan, you can keep your plan. Which liar was that? Oh, I have another one. Weapons of mass destruction. Did he mean poppy fields of mass profit? And then, of course, I did not have an affair with that young lady. We did not have sexual relations. And look, Mr. Blowjob Billy, BJ, my man. He's the only one I like out of those fucking three, to be honest with you. I'd probably vote for him today. But I don't care what the fuck he did. I don't care what his behavior was in the Oval Office. Honestly, whatever he did, as long as it was consensual. But if you're the president and you're in Monica Lewinsky's situation, how are you not going to do that? I mean, she must have felt so pressured into it. But, as far as we know, it was consensual. It was whatever. It was maybe inappropriate. But the only thing that BJ over there, William Jefferson, did that was wrong was he lied under oath about it. The lie was worse than the event. You know what I'm saying? But look, good job, Bill. My dad used to always joke about having a fucking cigar. Hey, speaking of assholes in DC, this kind of reminds me why this whole country was founded, right? Little saying we used to have. This would make a great shirt, by the way. No taxation without representation. So, trending today might have been in my head, might have been on Twitter. Well, this is always trending in my head, this saying. Tax the rich was trending today, and that just makes me want to throw all my fucking papers in the air and not catch them, because I don't lose track of what the fuck I'm talking about. But it just drives me nuts. Tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Tax the job creators, tax the people doing successful, fucking penalize people for having some ambition in life, wanting to make some money. It's just unreal. And taxes, to me, taxation is theft anyway. I think some taxation is necessary for some certain things. We're not going to get into the weeds of that. But it just reminded me of these fucking progressive tax rates. So, just like anything else, it all starts with a bill with a cute name. So back in the 1800s, it was called the Revenue Act, right? Cute name, like the Patriot Act, or like net neutrality. Even my friends get fooled by net neutrality. They think it means the opposite of what it actually means. Because again, they just look at the name of the bill. They don't actually read the fucking bill, right? Affordable Care Act. Oh, such a nice name. In the meantime, you're jacking up tens of millions of people's fucking rates on their own private fucking healthcare, which they really shouldn't have a right to do. As far as I'm concerned, they don't have a right to do. But that's just a different story for a different day. So I looked up when the first progressive income tax was introduced. And again, cute name, Revenue Act of 1862. So what was significant about 1862? Civil War time. Our great President Lincoln needed revenue for the Union. All right, so look. The name actually wasn't that... It's cute now, in hindsight, but at the time, he needed to raise money for a little confrontation. And, by the way, it was allowed to expire in 1864. And, but what they did was they imposed a flat income tax of 3% on incomes above $800. And this is back in the early 1860s, so I did not take the time to calculate what $800 back then means now. But that sounds like a shitload of fucking money. You probably could get a plantation, I'm assuming, for $800 back then. I really couldn't tell you. I have no fucking idea. But you had to be probably in the top 3% to have an income of $800. I mean, that just sounds like a shit ton of money for the 1800s. And like I said, it was actually allowed to expire. So like back then, tolls were actually paid to build a bridge. And then guess what? The toll went away. Just like the wrinkle in my shirt. And then here's the kicker. 1913, Woodrow Wilson, the Democrat, brought back the income tax. And it was progressive. At least at least when they had taxes in the mid 1800s, they were flat, which I don't agree with taxes, but if you're going to have them, at least have a flat tax. It makes sense to me. I've never seen proof that a progressive tax does anything more productive than what a flat tax would do. But yeah, Woodrow Wilson introduced it back in 1913, and of course, much like today, the Supreme Court upheld it, because that's what they do. They legislate from the fucking bench. Nothing ever changes. Speaking of nothing ever changing, CNN, the cuck news network. So what was trending isn't actually. Burp, burp. I feel like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. This whole fucking year is Groundhog Day, right? The headline up there isn't what's trending, but again, CNN. This is actually an article from CNN that does say cuckolding can be positive for some couples, study says. That's where half the country gets its news, so very, very reliable. But yeah, as we know, Project Veritas, our boy O'Keefe, James O'Keefe, has been tapping into like every morning conference call on CNN for the past number of years. And basically, the one thing that stuck out on me was they got caught on recording saying Cubans support Trump because they're attracted to bullies. Let me repeat that. Cubans support Trump because they're attracted to bullies. Not everybody's a fucking cuck like your viewers, okay? If Cubans liked bullies so much, they just stay in fucking Cuba. All right? And second of all, adults should not be using the word bully. All right? I think like the way people have a fucking like a swear jar, there should be a fucking swear jar for saying the word bully if you're over the age of fucking 20. I mean, get the fuck out of here, bullying. And maybe Cubans just don't like communism because it's either Trump the bully or it's progressivism that leads to communism. All right? The left has a hard-on right now for wanting to control the economy and everything in it. And look, they have a hard-on right now for telling us when we can and can't leave our fucking house or go to a restaurant, what we have to, what we can and can't wear when we do go out. So, I mean, it's just natural. And you got to be a cuck to really abide by those things 100% and think they're a good idea. So it makes sense. And again, this is the same network that suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop scandal, which was also a topic of conversation on one of the Project Veritas tapes. And it's fucking CNN, the fucking cuck news network. I don't know. If you actually get your news from CNN, or some people tell me they go on CNN to get a dissenting point of view, you're not getting either one. You're just getting a fucking story. You might as well watch a fucking movie, because that's just as much legitimate news as CNN is, as far as I'm concerned. And lastly, latest on the election fraud. Now, what would be wrong? Vote here, ID required. Wouldn't that have prevented this whole fucking mess we're in right now if we just had some sort of voter ID fucking rule? But anyway, this is per the Washington Examiner, Paul DeBard. My state, my home away from home, Nevada. 42,000 plus people voted multiple times. Let me repeat that. 42,000 plus people voted multiple times. This is documented. This actually happened. This is not speculation. This was in the Washington Times. And 1,500 plus dead people voted. And guess for who? All for Biden. Now, 42,000 people voting multiple times. A lot of these states come down to sometimes under 10,000 votes. So don't tell me that can't fucking swing the results. And the one last thought I want to leave you with, all these ballots that got dumped when all these voting polling stations closed up shop and just stopped counting, which is unprecedented, by the way, at 12:30, 1:30 in the morning. All right. And then all of a sudden, by the time they opened back up at whatever time in the morning, say 8 a.m., 9 a.m., there were all these tens or hundreds of thousands of votes that were just for Biden only. What the fuck would the media say if that were the other way around? If all those tens or hundreds of thousands of ballots that only had Trump's name, no down ballot voting, by the way, but just Trump's name. What if that was the case? The media would be, they would have, I remember when 9/11 happened, the news actually took over like MTV and like Nickelodeon and like ESPN. It was just like the network news took over like the cable channels. Um, you could bet your fucking bottom dollar, juice heads out there, and anyone else watching, that if those ballots all were for Trump and no one voted down ballot, and it was that many that conveniently came into all these big cities and all these swing states at the same fucking time, there's no way that the news wouldn't take over all these other fucking networks, and it'd be nonstop coverage. Trump the tyrant caught. But what are you gonna do? It's a new month, and like I said, my motto for December: let every day be a positive day. So we got to make light of things. And again, look, if fucking Trump lost, he lost. It's not going to be the end of the world, okay? I mean, this is me. This is even coming from me. I want the fucking guy to win. I just want him to lose fairly if he fucking lost, because it's not just about him. All right? If he fucking loses, and loses because there was not just voter fraud, but election fraud, which are, by the way, two different things, that's not a constitutional republic anymore. We've now turned into a banana republic. And last month, I was a tad bit upset about that. Not that Trump lost or could lose, but how. It's about the how. But higher energy December, good things are going to happen. Rubbing the Rhubarb, if you haven't tune into that fucking show. It's better than ever. We got 2 episodes in the can for you coming soon. I'm going to try to get my What's Trending episode count number up, because this is truly my most fun show to do. And it's great to come on here and riff for all my juice sets for however the fuck long I go. So with that, I guess I should start saying the date, but the date is when I post these things. It's Thursday, December 3rd. So I'm not going to hold myself to telling you guys I'm going to do 10 more of these this month before New Year's, but I'm going to try to get a few more in the bank. I'm going to at least try to get to number 10 before New Year's, and be a little more consistent with this show, because like I said, it's my most fun show to do. And I don't know, I don't even know if there's going to be a football show anymore, but who cares? Fuck them. All right, juice heads, stay safe. Take care, guys. Love ya. Bye.